Are all SOC 2 auditors the same? It's interesting dialogue to think about and to have with companies in different perspectives. Theoretically, all SOC 2 auditors would be the same, right? It's kind of like getting your car inspected. Theoretically, it is mandated and the standard is set by the state, and everybody should follow that. And then it doesn't matter where you go, you get the same result, theoretically. However, it's not always the case, right? We all know we could probably go get an inspection on our car somewhere that might fall outside of that. But if you want to make sure that your car is operating the way it should according to the state standards for emissions and pollution and all that, then you want to get a good inspection, right? Somebody that kind of upholds the standard. And so it'd be similar for SOC 2, right? And so if your goal is to just get a SOC 2 report, then sure, pick any auditor. Pick the cheapest, pick the quickest, pick the whatever. If all you're trying to do is just get to a report, just get a sticker on your car, and you don't really care the rigor and what it means going into that, then just go pick the cheapest and the quickest and the one that works best for you. So sure, they're all the same if the report is really just your objective. However, the better thought process is that you're actually trying to build security into your company. You're actually trying to protect your data. You're trying to protect your systems. And especially with SOC 2 being a non-prescriptive framework, which means it can look different from company to company. It should look different from company to company because every company's risk posture is different. Your systems that are in scope are different. Your risk around those systems and that data are different from company to company and how things are designed. And so it absolutely should look different, right? Sure, a lot of similarities. Security is security, right? Risk is risk. But there should be a uniqueness from one SOC 2 report company to the next. And so that really is finding that audit partner that can validate that, yes, what you put into place, the control environment that you have, the way the controls are designed, they're operating, the way they were implemented into the environment, the risk that they're mitigating, that all of that, the intent of the SOC 2 is to say, yeah, you're good job, and we trust but verified. Yes, we thought we did a good job, but you know what? We came in and we tested it, and we really did a great job. And so that's the benefit of the SOC 2. That's the textbook of it. But one audit firm to the next, unfortunately, you can get different results, right? And sadly, there are audit firms that are turning these things out as quickly as they can, which is unfortunate. All of this is mandated and structured and dictated by the AICPA, and until they step in and start to uphold certain standards, it's going to be that way, right? So I would really encourage anyone to quiz your audit firm, to talk to several of them, to understand the differences, understand the nuances, unless all you care about is the end report. And if that's it, then just go pick whatever. But if you care about security and you care about being a good steward of your business and protecting your data, then really quiz that audit firm and really pick a SOC 2 audit partner that's going to help you achieve the goal. I'm looking right here at a case study of a company receiving a SOC 2 Type 1 in 6 weeks end to end. That includes the gap assessment, that includes identifying where there are problems, remediating those problems, implementing those controls, planning the audit, doing the audit, and issuing the report 6 weeks. Can I tell you, that's not even close to the intent of SOC 2. Not even close, the way the AICPA designed it. In this, if you read this case study, and just out of respect, I'm not going to say who or what it is, but if you read this case study, it was basically 5 weeks to get to the audit kickoff meeting. And so it was 5 weeks to do the gap assessment remediation all the way to implementation of the controls. And then it literally says a 1 week audit period. 1 week. Can I tell you that AICPA has very specific ethical standards? You cannot do a SOC 2 audit in 1 week unless you just totally throw out their guidelines. There needs to be planning the engagement. Planning takes time. You need to really do a lot of walkthroughs and understanding of the environment and what are the controls and what are the risks, and looking at the design of that. And so that's one step. And then you plan your testing around that. And that takes time too. You can't even do just that one step. step in a week. And so then you plan your testing. Okay, now that I understand the environment, I understand the risk, now I'm going to plan the testing. And so then you do that step. Then after that, now you work to actually engage and to execute your test plan and look at the evidence and pull in the evidence. And of course, that takes time, and that can be sped up depending on how quickly it can be turned around. And in this case study, what they're basically trying to say is a lot or all of the controls are automated, which is great if you can automate your controls, but it's not realistic necessarily to automate every last control. I think in this case study, it was a very limited tool set that was all in the cloud, and so that kind of sped up the process. But a 1 week audit period, I can't even understand the environment in that time period. I can't do my test plan in that time period. And then once I collect all the evidence, now I'm going to do my testing. I can't do the testing in a week if I'm going to do it to the rigor and the standard that it needs to be done. And then after that, then I need to draft the report. And then once I draft the report, there should be several layers of QA, quality assurance, that I go through as an auditor to make sure that my work is done well. And so there's typically at least one layer. A lot of times there's 2 and 3 layers within audit firms of review of the test plan, of the testing, and then also of the report to ensure that what comes out is really a quality report that attests to the system description, the narrative portion of the report of how the environment of that company is set up, and that is validated, and then obviously the controls and the controls aligning to the SOC 2 guidance, and then how all the testing is done, and then ultimately just QAing the entire engagement. So it really is not realistic just per the AICPA standards alone. Even if I work 24 hours a day and didn't stop working, I really can't do an audit in one period. So the bottom line of all of this is ask questions. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is the reality. Ask questions. Don't just take the first marketing message that, oh, that looks great, that looks like the easy button, bam, done. Don't just take that one. Ask the questions, talk to different audit firms, talk to other companies who have gone through audit, take the time to do the due diligence. If one firm is telling you 2 months to get your SOC 2 Type 1, which is pretty standard, 2 to 3 months, and another one is telling you, oh, we have a case study, we did it in 1 week. That's a huge disparity. That should cause your antenna to go up to go, help me understand the differences here. Help me understand why that is the case. And then let's not forget, all of this is really structured and overseen by the AICPA, the American Institute of CPAs. And so their guidelines are very specific, and performing an audit and attestation engagement, they have their due diligence and their rules. So if you have any, kind of awareness, and definitely take the time to look at that as well. I love people's questions, so put your questions in the comment. Like, what do you want me to talk about? Like, what are the things that are confusing? There's so much noise in the marketplace right now, so put them in the comments. What other videos would you like to see covered? What topics? What things are confusing? What doesn't make sense? I would love to hear those.